everybody, and welcome to another episode here on Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And we are back full-time here, pumping out the content for the channel, and we are dipping into our Black Friday releases, or at least
Black Friday days.
the releases around Black Friday. And so, like we did last year, we are actually going to dive into Surly Brewing Company. Surly's based out of Minnesota. We are going to dive into their special releases of their barrel-aged darkness series. So these were released late November, early December timeframe.
Sounds about right, yeah.
It is January, so not too old on these. And we've got three very unique variants. We love barrel-aged darkness.
Yes.
You introduced it to me for the first time.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Used to be really kind of hard to get. Now it's pretty easy to get, but still really good and everything. And we just started doing the variants in the last couple of years. We didn't really get our hands on until recently. Always kind of fun to get what you get with these. I remember last year we had some ones that we really liked and some that we really didn't like. So I'm excited about these three. I think this is a good combination for us.
Agreed. So what's the first one we're trying?
So the first one's the Cold Smoked Cherry Darkness. So this is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout with cold smoked cherries. All of these come in at 12%.
So the cherries themselves are cold smoked, which is kind of interesting.
I guess. I guess we should have looked. I don't know if that was something that was done to the cherries or if it was a brand of cherries.
I would imagine. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't know. We'll let you know over here somewhere. Let's get a little nose on the cold smoked cherry barrel aged darkness. Ooh.
So I definitely think the barrel is the star. I mean, I'm getting mainly spirit. You get that bourbon. You get the char from the bourbon too.
Yep. Yeah, very oak woody nose. Maybe a little bit of smokiness, although I feel like that comes with darkness by itself. Yep. I'm not getting cherries.
No,
at least not on the
nose.
All, so. Just a very barrel forward nose.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow.
So you get a little cherry up front, and then for me what just kind of engulfed it was like that smokiness. Heavy smokiness to it.
It's not super crazy, but it's like very, very there.
Yeah.
It takes over the whole palate, I feel like, on this beer. Historically, I haven't really liked that flavor in beers, although I've recently got into smoking meats, and I feel like I'm appreciating that characteristic a little bit more in this than maybe I would have a year or two ago.
So the first sip, I think the smokiness was really kind of jarring. I wasn't really expecting it. As you kind of sip it more, it tames down a bit. I think you're used to it, you expect it. The cherry note on this is actually really good. It's there. It's not overpowering, but it's nice and subtle. It just kind of gives you this nice little shot of sweetness right at the beginning of the palate. And then the stout in the barrel kind of takes over after that.
For me, it's really, really smooth. It hits kind of like there's a creaminess right at the front. I'm not really getting a lot of cherry. I think it's there.
It's subtle, but it's good. It adds a nice sweetness to it, for me at least.
Yeah, the smoke, though, like you said, hits very, very early in the palate, and it kind of fades through the mid-palate and out the back end of it, but it is kind of the lead character. I don't get a ton of spirit. I can tell that it's there, and there's a little bit of like a bite to this that kind of filters in behind that, but this is actually pretty tasty. I wish it had more cherry than it does, but it definitely makes good on the smoke character, for sure.
So I do think this is smoked cherries, not a brand. Well, we'll check. No, really interesting. I guess, again, not exactly what I was expecting, but really good. So where are you putting this in?
Oh, you got me. I'm going to go 3.5 on this. I flirted with a 3.75. I do like this. I don't think it's quite the kind of beer that I would typically want to drink. My personal preference on this puts me somewhere there, but I actually like it, and I appreciate it for what it is.
So I'm going a really strong 375. I was actually flirting with a 4. I'm going to go 375 though. But this is more my style. I've always liked that smokiness on beers. I like those like smoky porters and things like that. So this one really kind of fits my taste buds. To your point though, I think the reason I didn't give it a 4 for me is I do wish there was more cherry. Because the little bit of cherry I get is really good. There's just not enough of it. I wonder if it'll come out more when it warms up.
Maybe.
But how we're drinking it, it's still really good. I would definitely order it again. It's very tasty.
Okay.
So,
All right.
what's next?
Up next, we've got the Cocoa Nitro variant. So, same barrel-aged stout, but this is with toasted coconut, vanilla, and cacao. So, I'm expecting it to be a little chocolatey, maybe a little smoother than we normally see darkness
Smooth,
because it's
yeah.
nitro.
Yeah.
So, this one is kind of up my alley, both of our alleys as far as adjuncts as well.
Yep.
So, to the nose we go on the Cocoa Nitro.
Mainly just the bourbon. I'm getting mainly barrel again.
Yeah, it's not a heavy nose on this.
It's definitely, so now that we smell this versus the one we just had, there's definitely more smokiness coming out of that first one. This one, it's very tamed, but it has a very similar nose to me.
I feel like I need to play the Monday Nitro music for this one. Yeah, it's got a bit of a more decadent nose. Like there seems to be like a more of like a chocolatey sweetness on the nose, but significantly less on the nose on this versus the previous. So let's check it out.
Cheers.
Cheers. Whoa. Totally different mouthfeel.
Yeah. Very smooth. That nitro allows you to just kind of settle in. There's next to no carbonation on this, which you get with nitro. You're expecting that. Thicker, definitely for sure. I think the star for me, though, is the coconut kind of winning out for everything for me.
Really? It's there, but like, I'm not getting a ton of flavor. I'm not getting a ton of coconut or vanilla or even chocolate. To me, it's very, very well blended. Like, there's kind of a spirit bite that hits front of the palate to me. Like the bourbon. Significantly less barrel character in this than we saw in the previous one. And then it gets very, very sweet. It seems to be kind of a very, very well-blended mix of the three components that they have in here, in coconut, vanilla, and chocolate. Like, I'm not able to differentiate them, actually, all that well.
I think I'm getting the coconut more than anything else, but I get what you're saying. It is well blended. It's not like it pops out or anything, but it's definitely there. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of nitro beers. Mm-hmm. I used to really like them. I thought it was really, but I've kind of gone away from them a lot. And this kind of reminds me why. I don't really like that just smoothness. I like some carbon. I like a little bit of carbonation. I like just kind of knowing you're drinking a beer, not
Sure.
this. So it takes away from it, the experience for me a little bit. It's not really up my alley. I don't think I would. I wouldn't order a nitro beer, especially a barrel aged one. It's really weird. I don't think I've ever seen a barrel aged beer
on nitro. Yeah, it is different. I like this, but I think to your point, like, the nitro is just kind of a niche thing with this. Mm-hmm. What's actually tripping me up is that I'm not getting like really a pop from any of those characteristics. It's just kind of a very smooth, sweet stout to me with some barrel character there and some spirit character there. So it's not really blowing me away.
I think that's fair. I think it's a good way of putting it.
So where would you put Cocoa Nitro?
I'm gonna go 3 1/4. I think it's tasty. I think it's good. It's missing the mark for me on a couple of things, and the nitro thing for me kind of puts it over the top. So I'm going 3 1/4. I think a lot of people would like this one. I think I could see actually a lot of people liking this one more than the cherry one based on preferences.
Yeah.
But for me, this one's kind of missing the mark for me, so I'm just going to go 3 1/4.
I said all of that, and I think I'm still going to trump you at a 3 1/2. Okay. I think between these two, I would actually prefer to drink this one.
Yeah.
And as this warms up, I'm curious to see how some of those characters kind of come out a little bit more. Not that this is super cold, but it's also not room temp either. So I'm going to go 3.5 on it. I am getting a little more vanilla out the back. It's tasty. It's a good beer. So,
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Up last.
So we got Parker's Heritage Heavy Char. So this is a Imperial Stout, again, Parker's Heritage 15-year Heavy Char Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. We think Parker's Heritage Heavy Char is just it's a bourbon. It's one of their bourbons.
I'm sure it's just one of their bourbon variants. Yeah.
And I was going to look it up before. I kind of forgot to look it up where Parker's Heritage is.
We should stop admitting this on the channel. That's totally what it is, guys. Everybody, that's what it is.
Well, I doubt if it isn't.
No, we won't.
All right. Say no more. Let's get a little nose on it.
All right. To the nose we go on the Parker's Heritage Heavy Char. Ooh. I really like the spirit nose on this.
Like, this has got a good spirit and everything. To me, this has the best nose of the bunch. I'll be honest with the first two. There's a little bit like a sour tinge I was getting on the nose, which had me a little worried. They don't taste sour at all. It's just something I was getting on the nose. This one doesn't have that. This one smells how we want, in my opinion, a bourbon barrel aged beer to smell.
It's got a really nice spirit and vanilla kind of combination on the nose. All right.
All right.
Let's check this out.
Cheers.
Cheers. That is tasty.
Yeah.
Very similar to the nose is what you get on the palate. Definitely a punch of that spirit. There's a bite, a little bit of a bite to the barrel and the spirit on the front end of this, but it quickly kind of pulls in that vanilla character I was getting on the nose too, and that is kind of, that and the spirit are the star, mid-palate out the back, and it really smooths out towards the back end of the beer too.
Yeah.
This is tasty. I mean, for a single barrel beer like this, and with a base beer in barrel-aged darkness that we normally like, this is probably, before you even get a chance to talk, probably one of my favorite variants of this beer that I've ever had.
Yep. Everything he's known. No, I really like the way this one's done. I think the barrel is the star here and everything, and that vanilla note you get at the end is really, really good. The funny thing about this is there's 3 completely different mouthfeels on all of these beers. I would say this one is very smoky, it's a very carbonated one. This one's very smooth, and this one's kind of somewhere right in the middle. You got that carbonation bite, you got that spirit bite, but it's not like harsh or rash or anything. No, I think you hit the nail on the head with saying, like, of all the variants I've had from them so far, this is probably my favorite, which is so ironic because they put all these other things into the other ones and they try to make it fun and unique, which they normally are, but this one is just a very straightforward bourbon barrel aged stout, and they absolutely nailed it. And
I love for something that what we assume is based on a very specific variant of Parker's Heritage bourbon, that is the star here. Like, and it should be, and it is, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me want to find that bourbon, to be fair.
I need to.
So,
all right.
Well done, Surly.
Where are you putting this one on Untappd?
4 1/4.
4 1/4?
This is 4 1/4 beer for me.
I agree. Really strong 4 1/4.
Yep.
I would definitely drink this one again.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay.
All right. Good stuff.
Well, fun stuff. I think we liked the variants a little bit better this year.
Yes.
Than we did last year. There was no
ginger
in any of these. Thank you, Surly, for avoiding that with the release this year. So super fun. We love ourselves some darkness, and this is a fun series to do every single year. So thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for checking out the video. Have you tried these 3 beers? What do you think? How wrong are we? And what was your take? Let us know in the comments. Otherwise, check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe here, and we will see all of you very, very soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.